chance. Unfortunately, we brought Fred back with us. Fred, the Grand High Poobah, the president, the CEO, and the de facto ruler of OPNoobs. Fred, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Steven. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. No one cares. It is not a dev talk, even though the overlay says it. I promise you, this is not a dev talk.
The webcams are off, Stylo. The webcams are way off. They're supposed to be all the way on the upper right. You forgot to increase the sizes.
Shush. Totally fine. Hey, don't say anything to the beleaguered tech. He had a hell of a weekend. He did absolutely phenomenally well. So we're going to skip Fred entirely for this entire show. I expect that Fred's cam is going to slowly drift to the right of the layout, and we'll not see him again.
Look how happy he is.
However, the person that we actually like to talk to, one half or 1/3 of the Nintendo Defense Force, Chris Kellogg, the VP of all things that happen here at OPNoobs. Chris, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm feeling very good today, Steven. Thank you.
Awesome. And then, of course, myself, Steven, Slave2Machine. If there's trolling going on Steam when Steam's up, because it was down earlier today, it's probably I'm somewhere involved in that. I'm also second part of the Nintendo Defense Force. The third part of the Nintendo Defense Force, outnumbering Fred 3-1.
Nintendo. This gone out of control. This has gone out of control.
I was defending the Wii U today. The Wii U today.
Awesome. We're going to talk about the Wii U. We're going to talk about the NX a little bit. We're going to talk about why Nintendo actually does like money, apparently, judging from E3. But, Rob, let's just not make any jokes about this. Just move to the side and let's see that sweet NES picture, because that's what everybody comes to see. There you go. So, for all of you that don't know what we're about, you can check us out at OPNoobs.com, and you can find out that we do news, we do reviews, we do previews, we do alphas, betas, and some angry ranting in the op-ed section. That being said, what is this show about? It is not about making fun of Fred, although that's about 1/3 of it. It is about we take at least, generally, 10 of the best trailers, what we think are the best, and we display them in all their splendor, and we decide, should we cover it? Should we cover it is your chance to decide whether or not we do an interview with the developers or not. All these games are going to show up on the site no matter what. If we get a key, we will get a key in many cases. Some we don't, and then we bash them. But for the ones that we actually get a chance to, sometimes we still bash them.
Yeah, no, sometimes we still don't get the key, I'm afraid.
This is entirely true, and we totally don't let that bias us, right? But for the ones that we do, or we get a chance to talk to the devs, we do that every weekend, usually starting around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or whenever we can get a dev in there. So, without further ado, first off,
oh my God, Chris, can you say before we get started? Chris, can you say Verdun? Just for kicks. Can you say Verdun?
I can say Verdun. Thank you very much.
No, say the Chris way. Say it the Chris.
And by the way, they are just as fucking rude there as you think they are.
Just say it the Chris way.
Verdun.
I think your nose got just a little bit more pointy.
But before we get started, though, I know Fred wants to say something. Fred, we did have a hell of a weekend. Is there anything that you want to say in passing, in case?
I'm just so fed up of saying thank you to me. Thank you to me for having done a great job, coming out of it still sane. I had a blast. You know what was this? I actually talked to Fluffy Bunny today, the guy I organized the tournament with, and you know what I told him? I told him on Monday I had the strangest feeling. Like the whole weekend, I wanted it to be Monday. I just wanted it to be done. I wanted to be out. I wanted to be successful and just done with responsibilities. And then on Monday, I went in the office, and my first thought was like this feeling of I wasn't in the trench. I was not in the trench. You know, I was not like circulating over 12 versus 12, shooting at each other, trying to capture the pressure point. And then I realized I had fun. Like, I had a blast.
I don't know what you were watching, Fred.
Is awesome. Yeah.
I don't know what you were watching. Fred, what tournament were you watching? Because it was 8v8, man. There weren't 12. I mean, we had one group that showed up that showed up 5v5 at the last minute. Almost everybody on the team didn't decide to show up. They had a 5v5. It was kind of a blowout, but again, congrats to the EU champions, KK, and the US champions, the North American champions. Excuse me. There's more countries in North America than just America, in that of CT. But we're probably sick of her done for now. We will be revisiting it, but for right now, let's get right into the trailers because I can feel Stylo gritting his teeth. So let's just get right into it. We have a list.
And fix my webcam so we get the first layout.
No, we don't need a fixed webcam.
We got the first layout.
This is true. Anyway, we're going to get right into it. We have a short list this week, so let's get right into it. Chris, if you could be so kind to read the game description. Kelly, read whatever we have for the devs. The first game is...
He fixed it. He fixed it.
Don't care. The first game is Soviet Monsters. Ekranoplans? Oh, sure. Give it to the Polish guy.
Speak
All right.
English, Steven.
I try.
God damn it. Speaking
The first trailer.
It's in America. We're speaking in English in America.
This is true.
I hate when you do that.
Speak English in America? No, we shouldn't do that. We will get to the first trailer in a second.
Yeah.
All right, so first trailer's popped up here. The name of the game we have is Soviet Monsters Ekranoplans. I'm not even sure if that's a real word. Experience flying the amazing Ekranoplan, the largest and greatest secret aircraft designed during the Soviet Cold War era. You are in charge of the day-to-day running of the Ekranoplan program. Manage resources and staff to keep your craft operational. When a mission arrives from on high, you must be ready to face the challenge and pilot your Ekranoplan and command the crew to a successful and glorious outcome. Over to you, Rob.
Developed by Santaskov. And that's it.
Awesome. I am so glad that we do such deep...
It's really like digging, you know, we want the hot stuff.
We really do. We really do. Okay, so...
So I had it wrong at the beginning. It was Ekranoplans, not Ekranoplanes. I thought it was mistyped, but it actually continued to be Ekranoplans, so...
Awesome.
That's interesting. Okay. What is an Ekranoplan? Does anyone know?
I believe it's a plane, judging from the trailer.
Yeah, Stylo, could you spin that trailer again for us?
I don't know. He was.
Stylo might have died.
I think Stylo hates us right now.
Dead. He's on the floor. He's like ticking the keys left and right.
I'm almost certain that while we're doing this, Stylo totally gives up. There we go.
That plane
so Chris,
looks like a hammerhead shark just trying to go underwater, but just like
is this? What are we looking at?
Is it like, are you trying to take off? Just go. What's up, bud? What's up?
These look like
what
things
is an
that never...
What? Okay, so that's how I start that. What was I just watching?
So,
are these
apparently coming soon to Steam?
I've got to be honest with you. We've said this time and time again. It really does help if there's more than a single. Essentially, this was a movie.
Caspian Sea, 300 miles per hour. 10 feet.
Yeah. So this is about a cargo plane. I think we've got that part down. Trailers, come on, guys, we need more.
But haven't you noticed that none of these planes are in the sky? They're all in the water.
It has a pitchfork on the front of it. What is? Do you run into stuff? You wait for giant fishes to come up and get them perfectly, or what's up? I'm a little lost here. I do not know what's going on.
Okay, I hate to be the bearer of bad news on this one, but essentially, okay, I like flight sims, I really do, but this, I'm just basing it off the trailer because that's the point of the whole show. I don't really think that this is going to bring anything new or exciting to the table. I would like to, we're going to probably review it anyway, no matter what. But in regards to this, I just don't think we should really spend too much time on it. I hate to say it. There's not much thrown in the trailer. I don't want to be a graphics whore, but this is, I would say, early PS1 style graphics.
Yeah, what is this habit that you guys are getting into in like talking about indie and comparing it to like early console gen? Because it's completely relevant.
It's totally relevant. And you, Fred, as the one with the SLI, you shouldn't be talking about how you don't like graphics.
Right, but first of all, I don't care much about consoles, and second of all,
Unless it's Sega.
It's Sega because that hits me to the core. And second of all, man, like this is, you know, I actually share your feelings very much so on this game, but console graphics for indie is not a big deal.
This is true, but when it comes to stuff like this, if you've got a rig that can handle something and yes, we're elitists. Come on, we're PC elitists. Let's admit that.
I mean,
I'm not that can play Doom and The Witcher 3 on the highest.
I'm not blown away by The Witcher 3. Do I think it's still the game of the year in 2016? Yes. That's the sad part. You know, like I just got the expansion. I'm hooked. I'm like, I've redone my build. I'm gathering flowers. Yeah, but it's not. I mean, it's kind of besides the point, right? But
for someone that hasn't played the game, that sounds hilarious.
Yeah,
basically.
Like, redid my build. Got some flowers.
Fred, you did contact me via text at 3 in the morning asking me what the best armor was.
I guess all I'm saying to stay on topic is don't compare the indie scene to the first gen of PlayStation, please.
But we've got indie developers that are making phenomenal things. Why not compare it? But anyway, let's move on to the next one. We'll come to that topic in a little bit. The next game is INDEF. And Chris,
WTF?
Before we went live, Chris decided to read this in a wonderful accent. So please, Chris, if you will, do your best, Red October.
Do your best.
All right, so the game here is INDEF. Unknown virus infect 87% of all living forms. The planet become lifeless. What race is this racist against? What race?
Russians are not race.
It's not a race. You are one of the endangered species, human. You must do some really mad things to survive, from eating of raw meat to betrayal and even cannibalism. There is no mercy in this cruel world. Humanity is wild and.
Fred, to be fair,
that was one of your.
Hang on. What's that, Kelly? Please.
Developed by Landmark.
Wonderful. Okay, so first off, it's not racist because Russians are not a race. Secondly, it is a Siberian publisher. Well,
there's Siberian.
Yes, but
it's true.
Hey, I can knock on it. I have Russian.
You guys still think Ronald Reagan did it?
Chekhov wasn't Russian, but they cast him as a Russian guy.
Too soon.
The actor who played Chekhov.
A little too soon. I wanted to make a neutral zone joke, but I figured that would be way too gallows right now, considering his car was in neutral. Anyway, so
put the joke in the airlock.
Kelly, am I basically watching like H1Z1 but side scrolling? That's kind of what I'm getting.
It does. Like, I'm trying to watch this a little bit more. I like it a little bit because I'm really into that horror game Lone Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
And if this kind of has like stuff like that in it, I know it's not horror, but this looks interesting to me. I kind of like this style of game a lot. I really like side-scrolling stuff where kind of the challenge is kind of figuring out where the layers in the level are as you're like traveling around. Kind of like, okay, sorry, Fred, but kind of like Super Castlevania. You know, like the first scene of that game, you walk in and you have to walk behind a gate to go around like this huge pit. And you kind of realize like, oh, I can do that in the game. I love like that texture that's used in 2D stuff.
I'm so surprised you would play this.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
I would.
I think the multiplayer aspect's interesting too.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, side-scrolling side-scrolling multiplayer games is one of the more innovative sides of side-scrolling these days, because like side-scrolling games have been done out forever and ever. PC, console, wherever you look, side-scrolling's been done out by the end of the 90s. And so, but the real thing you can do now that's really kind of different is this online multiplayer kind of mix in, and when you add that to the kind of things that Rob was just talking about, where you have the different layers, and it's actually a much more like it's a deeper two-dimensional experience than most. It can actually be a really compelling and fun time. I've learned.
You have learned.
I would like to know. I would like to know why the guns are just kind of floating in midair in the one scene.
I mean, that's what they do in Quake, right? I mean,
that's totally what guns do in real life, right? They just kind of hang out.
Yeah, you guys have seen that Dave Chappelle skit where he like walks up to the car and like has to pick the weapon before he like shoots the guy because he's in the
GTA version.
In
Yeah.
Pineapple Express,
Yeah,
they're always
exactly.
just to reload their guns.
Hang on,
and-
guys. The Frenchman wants to speak. Frenchy.
Yeah,
go.
actually, it's It's French related. Just during the weekend, I was wondering if you noticed, Steven. Like, I was spectating, and at some point, as I was spectating over like the trenches of Verdun, there was a bug. I immediately thought of you. I was like, I just want Steven to catch this.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
there was literally a dead soldier just on the sky, in the sky, just floating there right in front of me.
That's
and
where
I
they
quickly,
go.
I quickly vacated away from the bug.
I actually saw one
Didn't
else.
catch it.
Joss isn't watching, but
Yeah.
I saw a pretty great one too, where a soldier got killed and he fell over in the walking animation. So he was just walking on the ground sideways endlessly. He wouldn't stop moving, and that just cracked me up. I stood on that for a while.
What
gotta
was
love the
interesting
bugs.
was there was a point in one of the later matches, I think on the final day, and I made the comment about how it was great that the game was so devoted to realism that there was a point where I said something to the effect of, well, they even have you can lose limbs in the game. And the guy that was doing the play-by-play, Stefan, great guy, said, well, actually, that's not the case. I'm like, oh, have I been watching a bug this whole time? There's really not. Oh, shit. I didn't want to say anything because Joss was right there, and he developer of Blackmail Games.
And I
What
love
are
the
you gonna
fact that the closing ceremony ended up being a shit fest for Joss.
It wasn't a shit fest. I just
Of the
wanted to
winning
say some of
community
it.
saying, we got to talk to you.
That was
epic.
my fault. I admit, but they had the chance to talk to the dev, and again, that's what we do. We get the
There were-
gamers, we
there
get
were
them in the
kids,
same
man.
place
There were
with
the
the dev.
They
with the devs.
They were like, you gotta fix that shit, man. You have
that's the
got
thing.
to get
The joy of these things. This is why we do what we do, right, Chris? We get the gamers to talk to have basically a forum with the devs so that they can talk to the people that make the game they spend 3,000 hours with. That's what we do. That's our mission statement.
And then we take the developer and we throw him into the pit of sharks that once played.
That is-
Nice.
So, getting back on topic. So this game, I totally want to talk to the devs personally. I love the idea that we've got a side-scrolling 8-bit. Yes, retro is done to death, but I love the idea of a multiplayer survival game. We've seen
I do too.
multiplayer first-person shooters. We've seen multiplayer third-person. Haven't seen too many 2Ds. So me personally, I'm old. I will say yes. Anybody else say yes?
You are old.
I am old.
You're
I
not.
remember when the original game
say
that
yes.
we are going to talk about later today on this show, we're going to end the show with this. I remember when that first came out. So just saying how old I am. So I say yes.
How old are
Kelly,
you, Steven?
None of your business.
Say
You're
it.
supposed to ask a lady that.
Old enough to have spent 10 years of my life in med school.
Just say above or under 33.
No, because then that'll give people... Nah.
No,
Old enough to
He's 102.
for the
I'm-
purposes of our
I
show.
just realized that. I don't know how old you are.
I'm a White Walker. All right? I live beyond the wall.
Nah, Chris hasn't read the books or seen the show.
That's okay. He's got 2 episodes yet. Please throw all of your spoilers into the chat so that Chris may see them.
So I can subsequently ban you. Yes.
Next.
I already told you.
Next.
Moving on to the
Snape
next
killed
one.
Dumbledore.
The next the next one, hold the door, is called Glowfly. The next
Yes,
game.
there's no need
next
to be vulgar.
one.
Just introduce the next game, please.
Okay. Chris, may Glowfly.
Fly Glowfly is an unusual logic game, a combination of the level editor, arcade and maze game genres. Your goal is to help Glowfly to collect all bonuses on the level and reach the finish by placing different blocks on its way. In the beginning, this game will reassemble some puzzle, but next levels are almost mind-blowing. You need good reaction to win. Lots of different mechanisms, work of which is required for completing levels, makes the game addictive, different, and sometimes even hardcore. Oh, reading
That's a
broken
good-
English is
okay,
hard.
so-
wait
can I-
till you hear this one. Black Snowflake Games is an independent game studio bringing you fun since 2010. I'm gonna put in the chat how it's
Independent.
independent.
So let me just say before many of the games we look at are made by small teams,
Independent.
overseas teams, and English is not always their first language.
It's not mine. It's not mine.
However, that's
but
the
at least
point.
you
Fred's
don't
is not
spell
English
check.
either.
I mean, if you don't run your text through spell check, come on.
Still, we don't want to alienate anybody. But
Nope,
if this
nope, just sounds
is
fun.
this is the best foot forward, I love English. Okay, I will totally admit that. I have spelled English.
You're
before,
welcome.
but it's fun. Yes, I'm very welcome. Anyway, getting to the game though.
Actually, yeah. Can I say
Fred,
something
you
about,
first.
Yeah, I have
Yes.
I have a couple good comments this time, kind of even original. I like the way he presented his game, for once, and we don't see that often. Like, he actually implied in a very positive light, you're not gonna like it at first. Stick to it, you will love it then. And I feel like that's a very fair and honest way to present your game, especially when you're presenting a puzzle. And I think maybe it's tactical, or maybe it's not. But if it is tactical, it's very well done, because to present your game in such a light, when considering that your game is a game we see every week, I'm sorry to say, well, that's good thinking, good smart marketing. Now, I look at the games, there's definitely a lot of talent on the artwork. I'm sure that guy knows how to handle a brush, at least on Photoshop. I have to be negative, though. I have to say, he's
You want to say mobile, don't you, Fred?
Well,
you
yeah,
want to say mobile.
Not even, honestly. You just can't present a game to me like this anymore and expect that I'm gonna have a straight face. It just, I don't think this sells for PC.
Some people live for the puzzle.
Let me say that I love the hell out of this thing already. I don't even need a question about it. There was an old board game that I used to play when I was younger, some time ago, Fred.
Around the time of Verdun.
Around the age, yeah. There was a game, it was called Kahet. It was a Egyptian board game, an Egyptian-styled board game, where the whole point was to get one end of a LED light and bounce it off reflective surfaces and get to the end goal. This is basically what this game is. I would play this so much. I would probably totally miss doing anything for OPN. I would just be playing this.
But on your phone.
No, I would be playing this on my big 2K screen, 3K screen.
Okay.
Totally play the hell out of this. Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I could see myself enjoying this game, but I still feel that it's probably more mobile oriented. I mean, in fact, the interface looks like it was made for mobile. It would work wonderfully on an iPhone or an iPad. And I mean, it's not that it shouldn't be on PC too. I think it's fine that it's on PC. But there's nothing that the PC brings to the table that mobile can't solve here.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
To be fair, we're just to be respectful to the developer a little bit. There's a mobile app crash supposedly right now, and it's very hard to make money on mobile apps. As it already was very hard to make money, now it's even harder. So I think that we might need to be prepared to see this kind of titles coming more for the PC, and that. While we might think they look good on mobile, the truth is the budget just probably doesn't support mobile as much as it used to. And so I think we're going to have to bring some of these formerly once relegated to mobile-only titles back into the fold, because otherwise they'll just get ignored.
Seriously?
Perhaps.
I think so. Yeah.
Is there killing Can you
expound?
What are you talking about? Because that's a big statement. You're basically saying that they're suffocating the mobile gaming market.
Mobile apps are so flooded.
I make this up. It's like a thing that people are talking about. It's gotten so bad that Apple's even considering taking less of a cut of the amount of money they get from apps in order to spur growth. And the truth is the amount of apps that people download is way down.
But because it's not, I think
because it's not 2009. That's why.
Well, because the fad ended, basically.
Yeah, and I think now
the bubble basically burst in mobile, and now everybody's retreating back to this.
Yeah, well, anyone who wants to play a game seriously is doing so.
I mean, it's if you're right about the trend, it's great news for PC.
Great news for PC gaming, I think, and it's all the more reason for you to pledge.
And they're gonna have to work a lot harder.
I don't know. Honestly, I would say that the best thing, and correct me if I'm wrong because I haven't checked it yet, but I would love to see if this had a level editor and if they would allow you to share levels like Mario Maker, Nintendo reference number 3.
I think we're touching to the bottom of a debate we've had for the past 6 months or so.
I agree. So Maybe
we
this would be
skip.
time. Maybe
But-
this would be time to bring back Rise of the Indie there, Fred. We haven't.
Yes,
talked
but
about
I
that.
think this touches to the bottom of a debate we've had for the past 6 months on what constitutes a mobile game and what constitutes a PC game, and it gets me to finally my thesis statement, which is if you're gonna go on the PC platform and call yourself a PC game developer, you've got to put in more efforts than you would on mobile. Because that's what differentiates mobile and PC. It's the fact that a PC game needs to have more depth, more.
Well,
But it's
that's
not-
not necessarily true.
I don't. The thing is,
Puzzle
it's
games
just-
are there for a reason, and I don't know.
And it
it's-
doesn't mean that mobile games aren't fun, and that's why I think I've come to finally understand my own argument. It doesn't mean that mobile games aren't fun. It
You
just means
came
that
to
what
understand
defines a
your
game
own.
as PC and not mobile is the fact that there is real work behind.
Oh,
games.
wait a
Like,
second. I
years
gotta
of game
stop you there.
development.
You cannot say just because that somebody didn't
like
work-
Undertale, whether I like it or not, there is real work.
No. Just because somebody doesn't pour 10 years of their life into a game does not make it a bad game. That doesn't mean that there wasn't effort put into it. A lot of the indie games that we have seen have been made in under a year. And many of them have done sleepless nights, 24-hour days, 48-hour
what I
days,
mean.
if
Yeah.
even possible. I cannot say with a straight face that this didn't have effort.
But you
into it.
cannot deny that a lot of the mobile games that arrive on Steam are a very small effort from a very smart developer.
I can't say that because one, I don't have that kind of conceit, and two, I don't know exactly what they've actually done. I know that just because it looks simple to me doesn't mean that there's not millions and millions of lines of code behind
Well,
it.
here's
Not
the
everything
other-
comes out of an
I want to
app.
bring up a really big point here too.
Yeah.
Is that like there are so many people that still play Minesweeper and Solitaire on the computer. So it's not hard to think that puzzle games like
Yeah,
this
yeah,
are
yeah. No,
going
I
to
know, I
be
know.
like more successful. And in that same regard,
But there's a lot of
I don't
yeah,
know.
but
It's
Rob, there's
personally-
a lot of thought that went into building such.
well, hold on. That's what I'm trying to say, Fred. Is like you make a puzzle game with 100 levels, you have to create 100 puzzles. To me,
And
that
they
sounds
can't be the
very
same.
challenging.
Mhm.
I couldn't do that. I definitely couldn't do that. And
Like,
so
for example-
when I hear you say that, like time and effort, like well, there's ways to measure that aren't time or money or anything. It's variance.
Like,
And
for
when I
example,
see-
we did an interview with the guy that made Doors. That started as a mobile app, and then it got ported over. Are you going to tell me that he didn't spend a lot of time making over 200 some odd levels? Fred?
It's stuff like that where
No, it's true. I'm
It's just-
proven
it's-
wrong. I'm just so wrong.
You are!
it's a
Haven't you learned
determina-
anything from Verdun?
It's a
Oh, done.
determination. Yeah, but doesn't-
What a bitch. I'm wrong. Move on. Next trailer.
I'm a
All right.
bastard.
Oh,
Thank
hold on,
you.
can I just
Oh
say
yeah,
one
and by the way, I
Fred's
would play
defense?
this.
Wait, one thing in Fred's defense, I will admit one thing is that the mobile era made it too easy to just port shit to PC
Yeah,
and
That's
call
what
it
I,
a
yeah,
day.
that's what
Yeah,
I,
and
Thank
that is should never be tolerated because, like, yes, we all know you can make stuff in Unity and it can be released on all platforms like a click of a button in almost half hour's worth of work. But that doesn't mean that it fucking should. So that's all.
This is
So-
entirely true.
Yeah.
But again, to correct you again, Fred, I am a snow, thank you. I am a bastard. So we're going to move on to the next one. The next one is called Zero Escape, Zero Time Dilemma. I
think he
wonder
just
if we can
compared
swear as much
himself
as we
to
have.
Jon Snow. He's played way too
Nope.
much Geralt lately.
You know nothing.
Steven like falls asleep and he's like on what's his name?
I'm Polish. I have to support my countrymen, damn it. Anyway,
Lannisters are
Zero
from?
Escape. Huh?
So is that where the Lannisters are from? No. They're from.
No.
It's on.
Okay. Here we are. So this game that we are about to read is called Zero Escape, Zero Time, Dilemna. The experiment wasn't supposed to be like this. 9 participants awakened in an underground facility, imprisoned with a strange black bracelet on their wrists. To escape, they must play a game with deadly consequences. The rules are simple. After 6 people are killed, the escape hatch will open. Who will live and who will die? The choice is yours. Let the decision game begin. Over to you, Rob.
Over to
Developed
you,
by
Rob.
Take a deep breath.
Spike Chunsoft.
Thank you.
Let's
So-
chew on that for a second. And
They got nothing on
like
Chris
the game.
Kellogg stuff.
This is true. This is entirely true. I
I'm gonna
have
start
to
this off
wonder,
immediately.
what was Dilemna a choice? Anyway, Kelly, go ahead.
I would totally play this.
Yeah.
This looks
Okay.
really interesting. I like this. I really like this style of like graphical style, and it's like the cell shading.
Yeah.
I've always really liked that, and on top of that, it's kind of like, you know, I always want to think of references that aren't old games, so I'll just say it, like Wild Arms 3, like that kind of cell shading and character shape I really liked, and I kind of like these plot styles where it's like, oh, what's going to happen to these 9 people? Figure it out. I've always liked that. I like the Persona games, so, you know, that right there, that kind of explains it.
Kellogg?
I don't know. I'm always so like hesitant when it comes to these kinds of games, like particularly the anime games. I'm someone who's enjoyed anime in the past, but I've never really enjoyed the games. They are always complex, and the stories are bad, and the writing is horrible. And like, there's always great graphics and cool action, and cool special effects, but like, there's all these things and events that are super complex. So I don't know. I look at this and I go, probably would never play it. Probably wouldn't buy it. But I can respect someone who would. It's just not for me.
Well,
And apparently, I don't know how to spell the word dilemma. So thanks for pointing that out, Eli.
Thank you, Beard Man. I want to say that after 2 really crappy Saw games, I would like a good Saw game. I think this might be a good Saw game. This is essentially like every Japanese horror movie I've probably ever seen that has locked a bunch of people into a room. Somebody's got to die. It sounds like everybody has to die and have one survivor.
Isn't
I
every
Someone's name is Sigma. That's awesome.
and
Wait,
this
we've
one's
got a-
Phi.
And 5.
So you have a Sigma and a Phi, and apparently you've got the dude with the long nose from back during Plague Days, who was like the medicine man. That's kind of
Wait,
weird.
how did they fit a Marauder in this game? How did they fit an old Mega Man enemy into this game? We got a Sigma?
I saw a little puppy.
Nice. I'm kind of...
Oh, Zero Escape. I recognize this game now. It's the Virtue's Last Reward game.
Yeah.
There we go. So I recognize. Oh, there we go. That's why it looks so interesting. I've played these game series before.
Oh, that explains that. Fred, as the resident contrarian, how do you feel about this game?
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because I'm totally like in fierce opposition with Chris on this. I would absolutely love to talk to the game designer.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
But
I'm sure
why?
he's a nice guy. Despite
Is it just because of the name, or is it because
I don't know. I'm sensitive to his artwork. Like, I'm definitely sensitive. It reminds me of when I was a kid. Of course, it's all manga, and to some people, it's just like, yeah, well, you're taking pretty much the most mainstream and well-known source. But Akira,
yes.
It was awesome.
just yeah, I mean,
Anyone
Tetsuo.
here is going
This
to
is
say anything.
Akira. Like, I will never forget that quote. And to me, there's something about very Akira-ish to this thing, and it's just giving me kind of a
I can hear Alucard. I can hear Alucard screaming in happiness for this thing.
Yeah. I mean, this is pretty. I gotta say, it's very indie, right? It's very small. It's Asian indie. That's what it comes off to me, and it's Akira influence. And I want to talk to that guy. I would love to get on the phone with North Korea again.
South Korea. Yeah.
Call him and say, how did you make this game? And have some sort of shitty ass translator explain it to me.
Didn't we have to do that? Didn't we have to? You had to do that interview, I think, and you had to do it on a landline phone, right?
Yeah, it's fun.
It was Hounds, wasn't it?
I did it on Skype, but I did it through a paid account.
You know what would be great is if you meet him and in real life his last name is actually Chunsoft.
Well, I mean, these are the guys that don't go to E3, you know. These are the guys, and I feel like personally, I think there's so much talent from the Asian market that don't make it to the US, and the stuff that gets sold to us in the US is probably the stuff that not necessarily like I suspect that there is a whole underground industry in Japan and like Korea, South Korea, that is just full of crazy talented people doing crazy stuff that we've got absolutely no access to because somehow there was like a lost in translation between Steam, Valve, and
All I can say
in Tokyo.
All I can say is that in that case, there are plenty of ways to find some. If it's ever been committed to a computer, I guarantee you there's a way to find it. You know, there's importers.
Yeah, but that's just the language. I mean, there's a
language
gap
barrier.
There's a real gap, I think, that still kind of plagues
No,
the industry.
he's right. Fred's right. Like a lot of those games, a lot of games in Japan, there's like tons made. So many more games get released.
So many more.
And they just never make it over here. I mean, because they're not necessarily commercially viable, but also
or so they think. But then you meet. I think that's
right.
what's so fascinating about the OPNoobs experience, at least on a personal level, is that if I met hundreds of people over the past 2 years, because I did, we really did, guys. We realized how knowledgeable so many gamers are about our short 20 years of history. And if a lot of those titles at least made it to the US, I think there's a real market for them, I guess is what I'm saying. I think there's a real pool of gamers out there that is willing and excited to receive those titles.
Well, at the risk of sounding like we're patting ourselves on the back, because let's face it, we are, because we're elitists like that. I mean, we are the PC master race.
Yeah, but think of Dan Wheeler.
Well, yeah. Oh, God. Wheeler is he's
the most elitist guy I know.
But he's not. He's a Wikipedia when it comes to games that have never been released elsewhere. But that's the thing of it.
Yep.
Is the PC gaming.
He has a really great stream, by the way. I've watched.
Yeah, he does. He does have a kick-ass
great old games.
He even he's one of the 6 actual humans that follow me on Twitter. The rest of them are all porn bots, and he is one of the. He is basically the consummate gamer. The thing I like about PC gaming and PC gamers is that they are so passionate, sometimes to the point of being an asshole. They are so passionate about their hobby or about gaming that they will be able to root out any weird game. Now, sometimes that also means that they find games like Raplay, but we also get some fantastic little gems like what I feel this is. And I'm glad that it's hitting Steam because this is totally up my alley.
Yeah, right.
So that being said, let's get on to the last 3. We only have a few on this list tonight, folks. That's why we're padding it a little bit. So the next game.
I'm not padding no nothing.
Nah, because Fred will never shut up. Protonwar. Chris, tell me about Protonwar.
All right. Protonwar. Multiplayer-focused, fast-paced AFPS with an emphasis on quick and flowing movement. It features strafe jumping, advanced strafe jumping, wall running, wall jumping, step-up double jumps, and sliding.
I don't want to play this already.
Jump from you like, yeah. Okay, play as a normal FPS or play in Steam VR.
Okay, I'm already outraged.
Why? Because the word VR was mentioned?
No, I'm fed up with all those controls to do something else than jump.
Oh, but dude, they have wall jumping and wall running, and they have advanced strafe jumping and strafe jumping.
Call of Duty lost me on that, by the way. The last Call of Duty tried to experiment with a lot of that.
You can run on walls and stuff.
By the way, this looks fucking awesome. I know it's easy to take for granted something like a jumping mechanic, but jumping mechanics are not easily done well. Like, there's only a few games that really got it really right when they got really really complicated with it. Like Titanfall did a really good job with its mechanics, and Mirror's Edge is another example of another one that did really well. Because Unreal Tournament tried to implement that kind of thing. Of course, we're seeing the kind of berserk shit like backwards jumping that no one wants to have to resort to be good at a game.
I disagree.
Now this is cool, but like, why is it all in one? Like, where's the enemy?
Do you see how much tilting there is too? That's crazy.
Well, there's an enemy in there somewhere. They're showing the text.
This is a multiplayer game, I think, exclusively. It says multiplayer focused.
Yeah, well, this is E4I. I'm loving it.
Well, you also this is interesting.
This is so E4I, man.
This is in VR. That means
teams of VRers.
No two-header. This is E4I.
Yes, but only for VR people. That's the thing.
No. It's
VR shit.
No. Read the description. It's both. You could say it says at the end, play as a normal FPS.
Descriptions. You read it, I listen. That's how this works. No,
So you
seriously.
guys want me to read the studio background?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Go ahead.
Outer Planet Studios is a small group started by an indie developer hailing all the way from Nelson, New Zealand. With over 20 years of programming and gaming experience on PC and strong backgrounds in the competitive FPS scene, we aim to bring you no fuss and highly refined games. Our main focus at the moment is our UE4 in our game Protonwar. That's a good
E4 with E4I.
You know what? I'll tell you why people need to backwards jump. if you've never bunny hopped in a first-person shooter, you've never won a match.
I've done plenty of bunny
No,
hopping.
but you know what I
So
like about
this
this
is the same
FPS?
thing.
You know what I like about the FPS is that it's the clarity. It's not, it doesn't look great, right? But it looks
it's-
very precise. And
That's what Unreal Engine 4 will do for you.
yeah, it looks very clear. Like I honestly would love to see an E4I tournament with that. Like you take out all the chances that it's not gonna happen. If it did happen with like 16 teams, a tournament like this, that would be badass. It's got that golden eye feel, man. It's got.
This might actually get me to
it does have
stop playing Unreal Tournament 2004.
Is that the FPS that you go to when you want an arena combat game? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know,
it
I'm
used
looking
to be
forward to the new
but-
Quake, by the way. The new Quake looks excellent.
No, I can't.
Oh
wait.
Yeah.
but
Well, can I make a comment about VR?
Yes.
If I may?
No.
since you're the
Stop.
only one on staff with VR.
Chris,
Stop.
get over
So-
it.
so- whoa,
It's
whoa, whoa, whoa.
over. It's
Silo,
over.
mute his
It
mic.
didn't
Oh
work.
wait, we can't do that.
I
Go
can't
ahead,
wait.
Chris.
I can't wait until you're buying your VR kit and I get to just say, "I told you so, Fred." Because it's almost like you might as well not even bother. If you're gonna stay in PC gaming, you're gonna play VR. It's really not a choice you have. That's just
No,
what's going to happen.
I
You don't even. There's not really point in arguing about it because it's just going to happen. But at any rate,
Mark
PC
my
Gamer just
words.
released its review of Oculus Rift as well as Vive in the same issue. And it gave Oculus 70 and gave a Vive an 85. And I thought that was spot on. And this is for Steam VR, which means Vive. And one of the things about a first-person shooter with a Rift, with a head-mounted display, is that you're 10 times more accurate.
Chris.
I was so much more accurate playing Team
Chris.
Fortress in Oculus Rift than I ever was.
Chris, you need to let it go.
But do you get a virtual hat with
It's
Team
just
Fortress
not.
2?
It's
That's
just,
what I
You
need
can
to know.
actually you can
Who-
run around wearing Oculus
who
like a
goes-
goggles in Team Fortress 2.
who goes watch movies in 3D anymore? If the experience is too
I don't think
intensive,
this is the same
it
thing as
will
3D,
not
my
work.
friend. I didn't like 3D. I thought 3D was bullshit.
Yeah, you won't like virtual reality.
I
Man.
already like virtual reality.
No, you don't.
Like 3D.
Fred,
don't
I-
didn't
I'm going to
change-
remind you of just one
Hey,
thing.
hey, hey, hey.
Still haven't tried
Play
it.
nice, play nice.
That's right.
I'm being nice. I just said he hadn't tried it.
No, I mean Fred's got to shut up. Let you talk.
Oh,
No, I'm serious. It's a compelling experience, and you really can't. I admit it still has problems, but I'm gonna buy a Vive because I want one.
It's
because
like
it's good.
it's like
And
it's like
so,
you
yeah.
want twice a year you want to go to Six Flags Magic Mountain or whatever it's called. You don't
Okay,
want to Six Flags Magic
something-
Mountain every day in your house. That's VR for you.
So here's what I want to say about this:
play this
is
game
you would play
No.
or wouldn't? Why not?
because Overwatch is out completely.
Oh fuck Overwatch! The most
Doom
biggest
is-
rip off of every other game.
By the way, we
Thank
highlight
you, Chris. I love you.
Doom
we
is
love
out.
you, man.
If it wasn't for me, there wouldn't be any gamers left in OPNoobs.
Ah,
Love you.
alright.
I don't know. It's better, and it's also like.
Can we get
Battlefield.
a Blizzard bash? Can we
Let's-
do a Blizzard bash?
And secondly, like this
Kelly.
just reminds me of like the first Halo, and if
Okay.
I'm gonna just go play that and hope it's in VR at some point.
So is it that
I
you're
just
just
play
kind of
that in VR.
out on the idea of the first-person shooter in general, or it's because it looks really generic, or
Overly generic.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like Unreal Engine 4, they could do a lot more. And I get actually what Fred was saying
Overwatch is
with the GoldenEye reference before. I actually do, but it's just not enough. And like, secondly,
That's probably true.
and let me give my 2 cents on VR for the I think 17th time.
yeah,
This game, I think first-person shooters would be some of the more interesting games to come out on VR. And like I would without a doubt try this game if I had VR. I don't, so I wouldn't play it at all.
okay, that's fair. I want to say I'm just looking forward to the VR version of Shadowrun. Once that comes, I don't care. I will
I know.
buy it.
I'll just be in that earth forever.
And me personally, I hate primarily multiplayer games. It's not that I don't like them at all. It's that when you release a purely multiplayer game, it relies on having a community.
Yeah.
I feel that any pure multiplayer game like Overwatch, for example, it generally
Which is
dies
great.
out in 6 months to a year, and then you feel like an ass for having bought it. For example, Titanfall. I'm still pissed at Titanfall. I'm still pissed at
Get over yourself. Titanfall was great in comparison.
it was great
because
for
it was
the first-
original.
For like a day. It was.
It was original.
No, it wasn't.
Maybe with Blizzard
It's
just
not-
Actually, it was a little bit original. It was
originality.
poorly.
If Blizzard released it, Fred would be all over it. But we're gonna move on to the
I mean,
next
it's
one.
not that original. The
I
front
mean,
mission
it's true. I'm a
games
sucker
going
for
back to, like,
original games.
Just
I'm a
saying.
sucker for original games.
But
Yeah, 'cause
Titanfall isn't that original. They were doing that robotic stuff back in the 90s with the front mission games. That's
And
not that original.
When you live in Japan, they just give you a robot.
They kind of come on. They kind of. It's more than just a fresh coat of-
Unoriginal.
It's more
Move
than
on.
just a. Titanfall was more than just a fresh coat of paint on the genre.
Well,
I
that be
suppose
And I don't
it
think
was-
Titanfall was all that great, but I still think they deserve a round of applause.
Titanfall had really great.
Hey, come on. Let's bring this back. This is not a topic for today. We're not talking about Overwatch. We're not talking about. They're already out. Heck with them. We're talking about this.
Wants to go play the Witcher DLC.
I've already played through it. Thank you very
You
much.
done?
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. It's
Yes,
too
I-
long.
Hey,
It's too
Fred,
long.
did you ever finish Doom on something higher than easy?
I finished Doom, and that's where we're gonna keep it at.
Don't hurt me any, right? It's okay.
Hey,
started playing on the high-
no, seriously, you finished the DLC of The Witcher?
I finished one DLC. I didn't
Oh,
say which.
okay. Oh, okay. You finished the first one. The first one.
I want to say that for the Witcher DLC, I've finally just got a chance to play through Heart of Stone, and I think Mr. Mirror is my favorite asshole in all of gaming at this point.
Yeah, I would say still like a little underwhelming of a DLC, and then the second is epic. Oh my god!
Because the thing is, with CD Projekt Red, they release full games and call it DLC. Other companies, they release DLC.
I mean, they
So-
just unloaded a ton of content on us on a completely different new continent, and I'm just in heaven.
Exactly.
now.
But now I want to talk about my most favorite game of the year, 2016, 2017, 2018. It is called, yes, in case of emergency, release Raptor, which is now going to be my go-to phrase for any problem.
Actually, can we change PC gaming by PC gamers to in case of emergency release Raptor?
Yes.
Do you think it would like release a cease to desist or what?
Chris, let's
All right. So,
wait.
in case
Chris,
of
stop
emergency,
that trailer.
No.
Chris, read.
In case of emergency, release Raptor. If I have to convince you why being any form of dromaeosauride is freaking awesome, then I'm not sure we can be friends. This game is carefully crafted to give you the closest possible feeling of being one of these glorious monsters, then turning you loose to do fun stuff. That means you don't get or need frickin' lasers, health upgrades, or character progression. Yeah, fuck character progression.
Yeah,
Over to you, Kelly.
We are a tiny company and proud of it. And it is our mission to deliver an unparalleled experience with our games. We love feedback, everyone does, and we can't do everything. We've already implemented, literally thousands of features, tweaks, fixes, and balances
Dev Dog.
based on player suggestions. We play all of our own games, so we tend to continue to grow them after release from our own entertainment as much as anyone else's.
Chris, please
Who's the
seriously-
studio? It just says we are a standing studio, and we're proud of it.
Well, it was shown in the trailer.
Okay.
Arcus.
Chris, really,
Arceus.
like Chris, write this down in front of me. Do a dev talk with these guys. Please.
All right.
No, there's no question about it. Yes, now. I want to talk to the Raptor. Forget the team. I want to just talk to the Raptor.
That's true. I actually love that the main character of this is a raptor. That is fucking awesome.
This looks really hilarious, and it looks like he does kind of like the raptor flip from like Killer Instinct.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I think AJ's right. He has to become Raptor Jesus when he gets killed. I mean, this could be. It's called Arcen, by the way. It's Arcen games, something like that. This could be a one-note joke. This could be a goat simulator type of game. I really don't care. I don't care.
Cool,
I
man.
want this.
I don't care either. It looks hilarious.
This
I
is
love
immediately
that they
going
got-
on my wish list.
I love that they just bought an After Effects template. Like I can just recognize it. They didn't tweak it at all. They just
Don't care.
customized the text, rendered it out. Focus
You
on
are
the raptor.
You're a laser
Focus
raptor.
Hey,
it looks
very
done.
impressive, very impressive. But no, but seriously, like scenery wise, super impressive. This
Yeah,
is
I mean,
cool.
They're hiding. They're doing one of those visual tricks where they're hiding a lot by making it very dark, but it's working here. And it looks
It's
nice.
working really
Yes.
well. I mean, I feel like I'm in Doom 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It feels a
Yeah,
lot
except
like
this looks
like
funny and not crappy.
Oh,
looks like
Doom 3
PlayStation
was
3
good.
graphics.
Doom 3 was good.
actually, Doom 3
Doom-
was kind of
pretty good.
Yeah, but I usually do. I have to agree with Chris. There's a lot being hidden in the shadows here. There's probably a lot of shadows specifically for rendering issues. But God, you're a laser raptor.
It's
Do you
nice.
need any more than that?
You need nothing more. How much do you think this game is gonna come at?
I
$14.99.
don't care.
I think the right price here. Is,
$300.
we should have, we should have a show about the right price. Actually, I think we should convert the Tuesday night show
The
to
right
the right
price?
price show. We should.
The price is right.
Yeah, we should. I think it should be part of
Translation
actually.
issues.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. This is not a
Right
laser.
price. Oh my god, that was
It's just like
great.
Purgatory, guys. It's just like that game Purgatory that we did
Purgatory.
about a week ago. But no, it may not be a laser raptor because there's no Viking woman with an Uzi. True, and our own resident Viking Rek would know this, but it's still a raptor, and it's attacking things with lasers. So it's sort of a laser raptor. Can we get like a consensus on here? Is that too much of a stretch?
Oh, I
Chris?
mean, I don't think. I think in order for a laser raptor to be considered a laser raptor, the lasers have to come out of the eyeballs and perhaps also the
I don't
mouth.
see lasers
Whereas in
coming
this
out.
case, I think the lasers are coming at the raptor, thereby not making it a laser raptor because
And that-
it's
normal
receiving
Jurassic
That's
Park
shooting
raptor we got.
lasers.
And that's the only.
most scientific assessment of a laser raptor I can
And
provide.
that's the only, in my opinion, that's the only problem with the game. Is the fact that this would
No
have been a
lasers.
lot more fun with actual enemies rather than lasers.
No, you actually do have to face enemies. You tear up robots and whatnot. So
I
there
don't
are
see them.
just don't. No,
They're
it says in the trailer.
Oh,
It doesn't
but,
show
but
that.
I don't
like
see
this big,
them.
but they're like tiny. Yeah, though they're like you can see little robots hopping around, but they're very small.
I don't see them.
Well,
Oh,
then
I just saw one.
Yeah. That's good.
And it was
the
too
tags for this
Yeah, go
episode are just
birdwatching
gonna be
next.
Raptor,
Yeah, I want to fight the Tyrannosaurus Rex like this.
That's
I think they should
different
do a
game.
Turok versus this guy here. That would be awesome.
I'm still kind of irritated by the fact that the re-release of Turok was $20. That's a little excessive for a game that came out in the mid '90s.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but Turok is good, but just not like that. But yeah, Raptor,
I
Raptor
think it's $20 good in my opinion.
$14.99.
$14.99. Chris, do you want to vote $1?
I would pay maybe $5 to play Turok.
We should totally do the
because
price
you
is
can play
right.
it on an N64 for like $1. That car, if you
No.
can't make the PC re-release more expensive than the used copy of the original, you just can't
This
do
is
that.
entirely true, but we're talking about Raptor here. This Raptor.
Oh,
How-
sorry.
how-
Would I pay $20 for this game? Probably not. $15.
$14.99. Yeah, maybe.
okay.
Maybe. Well, there's and yeah, maybe. I'm actually once you mentioned the thing though about this being like
Oh, I thought we were
goat
haggling.
simulator.
Excuse me.
I was, it's starting to make me think this might be a little more goat simulatory than we are hoping. But
We
Well,
should
do
totally
have to-
convert the
Then
show
then
to the
again, I
price
totally
is
paid
right.
Goat
$15
simulator
for
is
goat
very-
simulators. So then again, why not?
That's really
we are totally going to do.
And
yeah,
then we should, throughout the week, we should tweet it out whether we were right or not.
No, we are going to talk to the devs. I don't care what we have to do.
Yeah, we should bring the devs
I
on.
will personally fly to wherever they are, and I will talk to the devs because I feel like I need to. But we are going to get to the last one for the evening. But before we do that, Chris, do you have anything to shamelessly plug?
Oh well, you know
No,
we don't
please.
have Verdun anymore. So
Yeah,
it's-
we're resting. Stop it.
No, we got one thing to plug though. We got
Don't
one.
like
We got
anything. We don't want anything.
No, we want one thing. One thing. Our Patreon. We just want our Patreon. Give us your money because we need it because we're broke. That is all.
And I think this weekend as well, right?
Heather, our awesome marketing.
Oh yeah, we have an interview this weekend.
We do have interviews. That's why I threw to you. Thanks. Anyway, Chris, what interviews do we have lined up this weekend?
So I believe we kept it to light duty this weekend because of last week. It was pretty intense. We only have one. It's Warriors Pilgrimage. It is going to be at 2:00 Eastern, and it's Warriors Pilgrimage is a
Isn't that
game.
the religious one?
I'm punching into Steam right now because this is one I actually didn't get to play this.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Well, while you're looking that up, Fred, Verdun was awesome. Let's not knock it. And if you want to check out the Verdun footage, you can check it out on the video on demand for
I'm not
Twitch.
knocking at all.
And you can check it out on YouTube when we get all the footage up, because God, it was a long weekend.
This weekend,
Yeah.
weekend, all the videos will be on YouTube.
All the videos are going to be up. And again, congratulations to all the teams that won, and congrats to all the teams that just qualified but didn't win. We had a lot of fun meeting with the Verdun League. We had a lot of fun getting everybody together. We had a lot of fun with Joss. They might hate us a lot.
Probably.
Some of them probably hate us a lot. But, you know, when it comes down to it, if you lost, hey, you were there.
It was
Right.
good times. It was good times.
Yeah, it was totally good times. People got a lot of game keys. We gave away so much that Fred has to sell
many
his
game keys.
We gave away so
So
many
many.
games.
I don't
that
have to
Fred
sell
has to sell
anything.
his house.
I don't
No,
have
you
to sell
can sell the
anything.
house, man.
I sell my house. I keep my SLI.
Yeah, you got to keep the SLI.
It's true.
You had to
I mean,
sell-
who needs to
It's okay.
eat when you could just eat video memory?
Yes.
It was so bad that he had to
By
get
the
rid
way,
of one of his SLI.
by the way, I got
cards.
seriously worried for my computer this weekend. That's
Yeah, it
how
was
like
coming.
that's
I
how.
just had a software issue, man. It happens.
No, it's not just the issue. I feel like my computer got overwhelmed this weekend. Even my computer, my beast of a thing that I was reckless in putting
Well, you know,
together.
Fred,
I feel like it was like
take it out, buy it a drink.
on Sunday afternoon, my computer was telling me, dude, I need
Just
a
give it
break."
a hug. Pat it on the side
I
and
said,
say,
no,
Tell
you
her
don't.
that
He was
love
feeling
it,
the way you felt, man.
Every day.
Yeah, it's true.
But even so, there was that one match where we had a rockin' 10 frames a second. But
That
even
was that was epic. I was spectating that
because
at
of it.
480p.
that was just the
480p.
driver crap. That happens, you know. And we had to squint. It was a tournament for ants, but you know, it worked out. I mean, how many times are you ever going to say that a developer made a game mode specifically for your tournament? you
Yeah,
know?
and I just want to say for the record, if anyone at OPNoobs or outside of OPNoobs moves to somewhere in the United States where they have Google Fibers and has a massive gaming computer that can play any game at max settings, will get
Careful,
Google,
this one.
let me finish. Will get Google Fiber for free from OPNews.com as long as they stream every tournament we have.
Okay.
All right,
So,
well, that sounds good.
If
Yeah,
you
I'll
live
figure
in
that out. I'll
if you
figure that
live
out.
in Portland, hint.
Texas,
If you live in Texas, if you live in Kansas, I'm sorry. If
Where-
you live in
where is
Utah,
it going to be in Portland?
if
the
you
city-
have Google Fiber and crazy gaming rigs, Fred at OPNoobs.
It's actually
Gotcha.
kind of awesome because instead of working with Comcast and buying rental time on their infrastructure, they're just going to use the power lines.
I will foot your bill.
Wow.
You heard that. You heard that first. Kelly, aren't you moving at some point?
I am to Portland.
I will foot your bill if you have access to
I
Google
hear,
Fiber.
Fred. All you got to do is loan me about $1,000 to upgrade my computer, and we're on it, man.
All right.
Hey, he didn't say what quality the stream had to be. Really, he said it had to be able to play any game.
No, I just want the upload time.
You just
Yeah.
want to.
He just wants
And
the-
by the way, Chris, you the tech savvy guy, when is Google Fiber coming to the US? Not to some lost ass place in Texas, to the United States of
Believe it
America.
or not,
The very
so-
reason why I let go my French citizenship was so that I could get shit like Google Fiber. So when is it
So-
coming?
I
So I'm
love
gonna
the fact
start-
that
I'm gonna say
wait.
tomorrow.
Hang on. He moved to the States, which routinely has the worst internet connectivity in the world. You should have moved to like
it's actually
Thailand.
not the worst.
Not in the word.
It's
Like,
the most
wake up call.
expensive. It's not the worst.
I don't
The
care about
most
money.
expensive.
I care
That's
about
the real-
Google.
Wait, let me tell you a thing or two here. Let me learn you some stuff. Let me learn you some knowledge.
I'm
alright?
seriously
So-
interested in learning about Google Fiber.
So
and, like,
Google Fiber is great, and it's supposed to be coming across the United States. It already hit 2 municipalities currently, and it's supposed to spread to like 10 more cities. Nashville does happen to be one of them. There's a few others, but this is the real truth. This is the real thing about Google Fiber: is you're still going to get the same speed you have with Comcast. You're just going to get the same speeds. It's going to be the same as Comcast. It's just going to be cheaper.
No, you are so wrong.
No, you can already get 300
We-
megabits per second with Comcast.
No,
They're
it's
gonna
not.
give
It's
you that
not the
with
download. It's not the download. It's the
You can get
upload.
300 megabits per second upload with Comcast. If you
You'll get.
Fred, we are behind Bolivia in internet speeds. Okay, let's just consider that. And secondly, Yeah, it's all down to the infrastructure and
What's
what
up
it
with that? What's up with that?
What's up with it?
So
We're-
I mean,
wait,
we can
wait,
get into the
America.
politics of
America.
ISPs, but it's a long conversation.
Yeah.
Where
We are
is my
not going to be
upload speed?
Google,
This is
we're not going to be
America, and
Google
I'm getting.
spokespeople.
And they're like, I call
Google already
Comcast,
runs the world.
and I say Comcast.
Google
I
already
want to.
runs the world, but we're
Comcast,
not going to. No.
But
We're
Comcast,
not going to. Come on. I'm going to keep filibustering you, Fred.
we'll give more money to Comcast.
Yeah.
Not available service.
If
No.
a problem comes along, you
But-
must zip it.
You know what the fun part is? If his connection dies mysteriously, we'll know why.
Need more money.
He's
All right,
right though.
so
He's
the
right.
next
It's bullshit
game-
with stuff.
It is a good one. It's a good one.
Even so, it is what it is. We will cover this on a different show. The show is not the one, although we're going to keep staring at this raptor for the next 20, 30 minutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the last one, and show of hands, everybody, who likes running over pedestrians? Awesome. Who likes old David Carradine movies?
Maybe.
Who likes games that
Kung
are
Fu guy,
based
come on.
Who likes games that are based off old David Carradine movies?
Who are you talking about?
We are talking
you're just
about-
diving. You're like cutting down the layers of the cake, Steven. Just
We
keep touching
are.
what
We
you're talking
are.
about.
The game
We don't
is
wanna
one that
say
I have been
this.
waiting for over 10, maybe 15 years, I think.
Oh my God, that's a
game
statement,
is-
Steven.
Yeah, he's right though.
Carmageddon Max Damage. It is finally released. Well, not released. Yes, it's released.
You are
It is
an old man.
finally coming to Steam. If you've played this game on vaporware sites, if you've played the original game on GOG, you already know what to expect. This is the reason we have rating systems in many cases. This was the first game in the UK to ever, I think, put under a rating system, if I recall correctly. We've heard about it, and it's finally being released. Stylo, if you please, roll that wonderful carnage.
Where do you
And
come up
Chris-
with those facts?
Peggy
It's from
18.
my brain, man.
Like, how do you know that it's from the first rating system in the UK
from
ever?
my
Like,
brain,
what do
man.
you do at night?
I do nothing, man. Anyway, Chris, please, if you
He
will.
jacks into the Matrix, man.
I do.
All right.
That's-
Carmageddon Max Damage. Carmageddon Max Damage is the driving sensation where pedestrians equal points and your opponents are a bunch of crazies in a twisted mix of automotive killing machines. It's the antidote to racing games.
Whoa.
Note, webpage only shows for PlayStation 4 and Xbox, but developer announced on Steam community that all those that purchased Carmageddon Incarnation would be receiving the game for free on PC release. Developer did announce.
Wait, what does
Over to
that
you,
mean?
Rob.
That doesn't make any sense.
It does
It
make
says
sense.
It's
I'm just reading the
cross-platform.
description.
It is cross-platform.
Oh, sweet. All right. Stainless Games is an established video game developer creating cutting-edge games on all main platforms. Best known as the creative force behind the multi-million-selling Carmageddon franchise, Stainless is an established UK developer with a track record for developing quality titles, original IP, and work for hire. On time, on spec, and on budget.
So here's the funny little bit of history about Carmageddon. Carmageddon, before it was released, the rating system over in the UK moved to ban it specifically. Specifically, politicians did the same thing that we in the US do when we see a violent game. Try to ban it before even knowing about it. Then the game was released and everybody said, oh, this isn't so bad. But what they did is they tricked everybody into knowing about the game because it was, oh my God, it's so violent. How could we as a human race be releasing it?
Oh yeah,
They
no, it's a true
tricked
story.
an entire country
And it
into
caused
buying
problems in
into
the
the
States
hype.
too.
It did. It did.
Yeah, it was. I don't. It became a source of a demonstration of why video games were corrupting youth. Because you could wantonly run over pedestrians, and it was particularly pointed out that the fact that you got points for running over pedestrians, that it was a bad influence on our younger generation.
Guys, we've played Twisted Metal. We've all spent the time to put machine guns and spikes on the front of our cars. So obviously, when driving through small Midwest towns like Cedar Rapids, Iowa, I could, hit people in a park.
To be fair, that's the only reason to drive
there.
through Iowa,
Yeah.
as far as I know.
Hit pedestrians, yeah.
What do you have again? Like middle, what do you call it? Like middle America.
Middle
Midwest.
America. Yes, there's a Middle America, Fred. I believe it or not. There's
Yeah, but
something
you don't
in
like
that
it.
center.
I live there.
Every time we meet anyone
You
from
know.
like anywhere between the east and the west, Chris says, "I'm so sorry for you." Steven says, "I'm so sorry for you." Even like
I live in the middle of the United States, and I feel sorry for me.
Yeah, well,
Oh.
it's one of those things where we have the East Coast, we have the West Coast, and then there's this giant expanse in the
that you
center
feel sorry for.
that nobody ever wants to look. If you, for example, if you live in a place called
it never happened in Nashville. Like
if you live in a place called Tornado Alley and you get hit by a tornado, I have no actual concern for you.
Actually, it's just called Wednesday in Nashville.
This is true. But you've got all this awesome stuff in Nashville, like yeah.
What do you think of
Nashville's awesome.
What do you think of Europe, Steven? I've never asked
What do I think
that.
of Europe? It depends on which part of Europe. Which Europe are you talking about, Fred?
Well, like UK, France, Germany, Italy, Spain.
The UK, I've only been to the UK once. Gotten into a bar fight. That was fun times. I remember some of it.
That's
I don't remember
like
much.
anywhere you go, anyways. I'm sure.
This is totally.
It's not specific to the UK, Steven.
This is entirely true. But at least in the UK, when you get into a bar fight, they will help you up after. Especially if you punch them in the face.
That's nice.
They like that. Yeah, they're really mannerly.
No,
you know?
At the end of the day, it was all for kicks.
We should talk about Carmageddon. Here's the thing. I love this game already.
Have you gone to France, Vo?
I have gone to France, and I wish I never did.
Seriously?
Yes, I've been to France once, but we're going to talk about the game.
Talk
We're
about
going to talk about the game.
Sorry.
Okay,
Jeez.
all right. So
Paris is okay.
I was literally talking today about Twisted Metal. Speaking of destroying Paris, this looks like exactly what I want. Like I really want to play another like car rally arena destruction game, and this looks like it's going to satisfy that empty hole in my heart that cannot be filled with other crappy games.
The vehicular combat genre is like one that most people have a lot of love for and is like very underrepresented and is like mostly a sad story on the PC of titles that got run into the consoles. And Interstate, and we've talked about this before, Interstate 76, Interstate 82 got turned into Vigilante 8, which is a very successful console series, and never came back to the PC. Yeah, I have a Vigilante. I have a copy of Vigilante, both of them. I got Second Defense for the Dreamcast. It plays lovely, loverly. But generally, though, all my favorite vehicular combat games have always been on PC. Interstate 76 and 82 are the best by far. And that I bring it up again and again, but Auto Assault, that MMO, that was that vehicular combat MMO, was fucking awesome. And there's just nothing out there anymore that fills that gap. Just like you said, Rob, there's a gap in my heart for a vehicular combat game. And you know, I feel like Rocket League was kind of a taste of that. It was like people want that. People want car action. You know?
think this could be
addicting?
Yeah. What's that?
You think this could be it?
I think so. I mean, Carmageddon is a great series, and this is a well-known developer. This isn't even really an indie title. This is a AAA title.
But we always end every show with a AAA, which is why we're talking about it.
That's right. I think this could be awesome. I mean, especially when you look at the end of the trailer where you just got this like APC going into like an 18-wheeler and then it just cuts away and you don't know what's going to happen. Fucking awesome. I love action movies and involve cars. It just looks like that.
I think as part of the price is right, we should also do the budget is right. What's the budget on this?
Well, first off, before we get into that, there is something that was said down in the chat by Paradox that, here's the problem with this. As excited as I am about it, the quality is kind of meh, and the reviews are all over the board. Just because it looks nice in the trailer doesn't necessarily always translate to a good game. In fact, to reach back from history, this game got rated a 3 out of... Well, the original Carmageddon got rated a 3 out of 10.
Oof.
So, that's in DOS era, for example.
Wow.
So, that being said...
That wasn't quite DOS era, was it?
Yeah, it was, actually.
Even though I thought it was supposed to... Oh, no, I'm wrong. But yeah.
Anyway, it was like Windows 95.
Oh, it did support DOS and Windows, both.
Yeah. So, but the problem with it all is that when you get a game that kind of focuses on controversy, you tend to find that the controversy takes control of the game development. So the problem I have is, judging from the trailer, these are all the best parts, but if that's all the best parts, I'm kind of hesitant to see how the rest of it looks. Like Kellogg said, it was released in 97. So it wasn't well received back then. And again, I wonder if this is all just the controversy rearing its ugly head. We live in a world where we have hatred and Postal, but then Postal got a really crappy rating and everybody loves it, myself included. I even liked the movie. I liked an Uva Bowl movie. Do you know how painful that is to say?
It's okay.
I feel like I got a lot
no one's on your side there.
It's okay.
I know. I appreciate that.
It's okay.
I can see it. So.
You'll be fine.
But
You don't need to. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, I am kind of hesitant. So, Fred, as the resident contrarian and angry Frenchman, judging from the trailer, judging from everything we see, let's do your right is price, or whatever it is you called it, the right price.
The right price.
What would you pay for this game?
So 3 statements I have to make. One, obviously I don't know Armageddon, but I do know Twisted Metal, and if I look at Twisted Metal and how much I've missed it over the past freaking 15, 20 years, definitely a welcome addition.
No, there was a PS3 version, PS3 game released.
It was good.
Yeah, but he's right though.
But Twisted Metal 2 was like
Twisted Metal 2 was the last PC
just
game.
amazing.
Yes.
Was the last one that really did it for gamers. And I could be wrong. I don't know about Twisted Metal 3.
No, it's the last very successful vehicular combat game was Twisted Metal 2.
Yeah, and like the thing is, like, I think this is a good genre. I think this is. Now the thing is, it's also my last. That's the second thing. It's also my last love with console. One of my last love with console gamings. After that, I moved to PC gaming pretty quickly, I think. And I don't know if this is something I would play on PC, because for me, PC is more of a personal experience. But I don't represent the PC gaming community.
Yeah, we told you many times.
And when it comes to financing, I would say this game is should come out at $39.99, and this is probably $2 to $5 million budget.
Just for the car, right?
Just for the game, I think this is between 2 and 5 million.
Yeah, I agree with the $39.99.
I thought you were talking about the purchase price. To $5 million.
Oh yeah, I mean, where does one buy a Death Rig 18-wheeler?
Yeah, like I think
let's go to the Mad Max store and find one.
I think if it was $49.99, I think it'd be bullshit. Frankly,
Okay.
$50 for this, it's a no. I think $40 for this is fair.
I think 40 is fair also. I agree.
I agree with that. Yep. I'd pay 45.
Like Overwatch is 40.
45 is pushing it, Chris. I think even that comes off as cocky.
Yeah, and no one sells a game for $45.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily true. There are
This is
some
in the
companies
very,
that-
very, very high threes.
So can we find out what the budget was? Is that possible?
No, we can find out next week.
Yeah,
Okay.
We should actually have a summary of our predictions.
Oh yeah, that would be kind of cool. We always try to guess the very last game what it costs and
And as far as production budget, where do you think this stands?
Production budget, I'm guessing. I think your numbers are probably accurate. I want to say, are you counting marketing as well, or
I'm
no?
counting everything, 2 to 5.
Because I think this is the extent of the marketing that they've done.
Yeah, but that's
this
cool.
game. The thing is, they did a real heavy marketing push like last year, but then it disappeared off the radar. So I sometimes wonder if it was ever going to get released at all. But I would say it couldn't be more than 15 million.
Oh, way less. I would say
No, I'm
5.
counting marketing as well. So yeah, probably in the 7 to 10 million range.
I would say this is
That's
a
my
2-year effort with a reasonably small.
Longer than that. They've been in development for a while now.
I think
You think so?
Yeah.
I know so. I've been following it since it was first announced, like maybe 5-6 years ago.
And
It went into like some kind of weird stasis mode.
I only just noticed that one of the scenes features a lady in a wheelchair being crushed by 2
Oh, yeah.
vehicles.
That's
colliding.
great.
This is the only reason why I want to buy the game.
I love
Because
shit like
Do
that.
you hate people with disability, Fred? Is that
I
why?
just imagine it's Steven in the seat.
Yes!
Girlfriend's not
Wait.
watching.
Nah, come on. We all know I don't
There's
have
a DeLorean there, I see.
Yeah, it's Back to the
It's like a
Future.
DeLorean. It is the mixture of vehicles is cool too, like big trucks, like hot rods, like older cars, like they just went all out.
And the Fat American.
Yeah, future cars, weird cars. They got a lot. This looks pretty
Yeah,
exciting.
tank cars, like
Yeah, monster trucks.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Like, I'm down with this. I'm definitely.
mother truckers.
Oh, sweet.
Well,
We should actually have a party and play this game and fight each other.
Yeah, that'd be
Teeth.
great.
yeah, no, I'd be
I
totally...
tell Heather get.
Fred, E
try-
for I. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
no.
E4I
You're a
Carmageddon.
genius.
We could do like a monster truck thing.
I
That'd be
didn't
awesome.
even think about. Is this PvP?
It could be.
Is this
It probably is. Is
Sure,
it?
that is
This
what
would
this
be
is.
cannot
so
have
much
this game
fun.
without having
Stefan
Yeah.
would be great on this 2E4I. Oh my god, it blew him out of the...
Fred just turned into PewDiePie. I hope you're all happy.
Yeah, did you hear that?
No. Stefan, during those explosions, he would be great at it. He just blew him out. I wanted
No,
E4I.
he would
Hey.
probably be doing. He'd be doing it like the Hindenburg. My God, the humanity!
Yeah.
I think it'd be great. Honestly.
Stefan was amazing, by the way.
Yeah, we just have to pump him full of an 8-ball of Coke, and then
Yeah.
he'll be totally fine for the weekend.
It's awesome. No, definitely E4I. Please note, we love that. We love it.
No. Well,
No, I'm
even
awful.
so,
I'm
I
becoming
will
so
say.
corporate. It's awful.
Well, you gotta. I can't be the only one that sells out my soul on these things. Anyway, in regards to the game, it looks like it's going to be awesome, or at least I think it's going to be awesome, because stuff gets destroyed. And who cannot like a game where someone on a mobility scooter gets run down? I do think the graphics are a lot to be desired, but either that's laziness on the part of the dev or a throwback to the original game. I don't know, but who knows? Anyway, Chris, if you have anything to plug, do it, and then we're going to do a quick recap of what we said yes to, and then we're going to end the show.
Yeah.
Well, just gonna do another shout out to folks to please donate to our Patreon. Everything we do here at OPNoobs is completely volunteer. We're not paid for any of this. It bleeds our benevolent overlord Fred dry. We could use all the money that you could throw at us, and we would really appreciate it. And the more money you give us, the better content we can make, and the more likely we are to be on time. So yeah, please. No,
I wouldn't push it that far.
no.
Don't make
Well,
promises.
at least
we
we'll
can't
tell
keep
you
here.
we'll be on time. We'll do you that. Yeah, so please consider a donation. We could use the help. I'll throw a link in chat. It's also below here in Twitch. And I will leave it at that for now, since I think that's all there is to promote. Just join us again next week. Just come back next week.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you should come back anyway. And again, in regards to E4I, if you want to check out any of the old footage, we did the original E4I with Iron Wired Studios and Red Solstice. I finally got a chance to say Iron Wired the right way.
Yeah, there you go.
And then, of course, this just past weekend, we did World War I shooter Verdun. We worked closely with
We've
the
got a next
Verdun
one
League.
coming too. That's the secret.
We've got another one coming. I hope it's Rocket Fist. I really do. But we will have to see.
It involves skies. It involves planes.
Skies of Arcadia.
Arcadia.
Wonderful.
That was
I've
about
always wanted to do. I've always wanted to do an
That's
8-bit
very
20.
good timing. That was really
I know.
Oh,
right?
I almost forgot about the interview again at 2
You
o'clock
did.
on Saturday. Please watch. It'll be right here, 2 o'clock Eastern, right here on Twitch. If for some reason you do miss it, we'll roll it out on YouTube a week later. But
Well,
I might show
Or
up.
just show up here. Yeah, I mean, it'd be great if you were here.
What's the game?
I'm gonna watch. I think you guys are gonna watch. We'll all watch.
I was thinking about having. There's a watch in the distance. I was thinking about just having it be an empty. I'll maybe have my dog sit in the chair, and I'll just do the interview that way.
Yes.
Just have your dog do the
Yes, you should.
No, because he'll basically be chewing on the mouse the whole time, which is not unlike what I do anyway. So
No,
you
it
know.
seems like he's supposed to do that.
the dog or me chew on the mouse?
Chew on the mouse. I was playing with the mouse. As it doesn't matter. Let's keep going.
You
Yeah,
just had
and,
no escape from that one, did you? No.
And I also have a quick little plug-in because this is something that we've been wanting to implement for a while now, and we finally can get to it
payroll?
because that's not happening. Sorry, not anytime soon. The Should We Cavalry Show Developers Edition is still very much in the making. In August, we are planning for the very first round. We are bringing 6 to 8 developers around Steven to talk about all the games every month coming out. And it is actually still a work in progress. Now that Verdun is behind me, I'm pretty bent on making the first one happen in August. No promises there, but Steven, gear up, because I'm about to go to show you a ride.
Oh God, what am I gonna be shown?
This is a night show
I mean,
with
sure.
tons of developers around you.
Oh God. Well, thanks for letting me know before we actually went live, unlike usually.
Sure.
But anyway, that is going to be our show for tonight. As a synopsis, here's what we actually did. We said yes to Thank you, Mickey. We said yes to INDEF. Excuse me. INDEF got a yes. Zero Escape. Zero Time Dilemna got a yes.
Since when are you so organized?
Protonwar got a yes. In case of emergency, release Raptor got a hell yes. And Carmageddon max damage, because we always have to say yes to the AAA. Kelly, are you doing a salute that we shouldn't be doing on Twitch right now? You're saluting the mouse? I can't hear you because you're muted.
Sorry.
It's great.
That was just a power symbol. What did you think I was doing?
I don't know.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Of the trenches.
Remember what doesn't happen down here? No, I'm kidding.
But anyway, that is the show for tonight. Like Kellogg said and plugged, please like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube, give us money on Patreon because we have to occasionally feed the writers. If you think that we suck, or if you want to send us any hate mail, send it to fred@opnoobs.com. If you think you can do better than us, put your money where your mouth is and join the crew. If you want to be on these shows, if you want to do interviews with devs, if you want to write for us, go ahead and send an email to fred@opnoobs.com or go to the website and figure out what email it might be. Hint, first name @opnoobs.com. But that's the show for tonight. Join us next time. Join us this weekend. Join us whenever we do stuff. I want to just keep talking so that Fred keeps waving like an idiot. That's the show. Good night, everybody. Have fun. Goodbye.